Somewhere between cravats and Canadians, between All Out and Starcade 83, there resides a come-as-you-are fandom better than a bunkhouse stampede. Somewhere between 86 Crockett and modern-day New Japan, between 83 Memphis and some elite golden plans. There's a man who's had so many concussions he thinks CTE is he forgot that line. And a girl who makes Effie look just slightly curious from time to time. It's time for John and Rajja, or perhaps Rajja and John, as they will put over Corny as well as Mr. Tony Khan. We are the future, the present, and the past. You'll never see it coming. It's the Blind Tag Wrestling Podcast! And hello, and welcome to the Blind Tag Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, John Hawkins, and I am joined, well, you know what I'm joined with. When she watches Impact, it's solely for the TNA. She loves the tradition of young boys, while secretly hoping that they're happy. She knew how to apply the deadly sugar hold at the age of 6, and she drowned that goddamn rabbit because she warned him about the tricks. She's the devil of the doom. She's the beast of the glam. If she rolled with one rock, Farouk would say, damn! The lovely and mysterious Rajja.
Hello. Let's just get better and better.
It had been a minute, so I thought I'd give it to you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we listen. I don't have any other way of saying this. I don't have any other way of saying this except for the fact that you motherfuckers have no idea how many shows that we had prepared. And when I say we, I mean she. Completely written up, completely going. If you've been keeping up with the blindtagwrestling.com freaking website, you've been getting the news, except for when she goes into like deep fucking depression like this past week and didn't do shit except the story here and there. And then she made up for it, kinda.
Pardon me.
Just saying. Not that I was checking or anything, but listen, what happens when we don't have shows? We had a little run. We had a little run of WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I can blame it on the NYC. All right? It's my new song. It's going to be available. It's mixed by Diddy because he's coming back. He's going to be important again. All right? He's going to mix this shit. Blame it on the NYC because we watched a fucking New York pay-per-view. And we were like, you know what? Let's give it a chance. And let's watch Raw.
Oh, no. That was a mistake.
And it all went to shit.
It just puts us in a place where we don't want to do anything.
We were sucking our thumbs for a while. We were afraid that blonde little girls were going to appear and spit black crap at us.
Jesus.
And then we had this bad dream that some of our favorite wrestlers just got fired for no reason.
Right? They just
disappeared.
They just released them for no reason.
It's like somebody just went and they just turned to dust in our little hands.
Oh, man.
I don't know what happened. But
bad things.
Very bad things. Very bad things. But you know what a good thing is?
What?
A good thing is, from what I understand, and I completely trust them, WWE is apparently just kind of in a holding pattern.
Right.
Just a little holding pattern. They're just waiting a little bit on, live shows to come back. Of course, that makes perfect sense, especially telling people, hey, we're going to be the drizzling and shits until we have live shows.
So that you don't want to come to the live shows.
No reason to watch right now. If you do watch right now, you're probably going to watch anyway because you're dumb enough to watch right now.
Yeah.
And if you do watch right now and you're also, one of our listeners, you're pretty smart. You're just listening because, you're that smart that you watch so you know how bad it was and you're just like, oh, it was terrible. Or you may review things. You could do like us and not watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Because it has gotten...
Don't subject yourself to it.
It has gotten that bad, pal.
Oh,
but
man.
Listen, blame it on NYC. You may think that's crazy, but I'm telling you, that is the theme. That's the title of this program. That is, I've had this in my head for weeks.
Weeks, yes.
Because weeks ago, I was already mad. I've been a mad bastard for weeks. Yeah. Because every night, I want to do this show.
And it just doesn't happen.
Every night, I come to her, and I'm like, can I have it tonight? And she's like, no. And it's the NYC's fault. It really is. And
NYC's cock blocking you.
my God, it's horrible. So here's the deal, guys. All right, for real. They did say that they're going to get better.
Yes.
They did say there's some big surprises. Now, the only thing that was actually said, okay, that was not from somebody who's probably a shill. I'm breaking news right now. I heard it from a good source. And WWE didn't shit on it automatically, so I'm totally not on the take. But, and if it was you, fuck off. I don't care. So, listen. The source says that they're kind of in a holding pattern, that when the live shows come back, and Stephanie actually did say, we've got tons of surprises coming, all kinds of good stuff coming, and, big surprises.
They're just saving it.
Like big changes, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually heard not just the John Cena and Brock Lesnar thing. Now, I'm sorry. Was this not the things we were fussing about like a year ago? Is this how Stockholm Syndrome works?
It must be.
Because I find myself turning on SmackDown hoping to see Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I find myself hoping that Brock Lesnar comes back and takes the goddamn title.
And doesn't wrestle.
And goes back home to play with trees. I find myself hoping that John fucking Cena comes back with his goddamn stupid dad hair. And I pretend that it's okay that he still wears fucking jorts. I pretend that it's okay that I want him to dress like a fucking rapper. Like a fucking rapper. From a guy who wouldn't fucking know what today's rap was if it rapped him in the face. Okay? I'm telling you right now. All right? This guy is not what a today rapper is. If he would come back, Jordan Oliver. That's what a modern day rapper would look like. Absolutely. Even Darby, I hate to say it, but really.
Yeah.
Darby's kind of like that,
Right.
But I find myself wanting it.
A year ago, you were like, please take these people away.
It's Stockholm Syndrome.
They made it so bad that you just want the things they were already giving you.
We had good childhoods. Like at different eras. They strategically gave us both good childhoods with great wrestling. And now we just want to, it was said best on one of the shows I watch. And I don't even remember which one it was. I really don't. I'm not just trying not to give him credit. But one of the shows I watch, because I watch a lot of videos daily, and I'm also brave enough to say that. Like, I watch a ton of videos every day.
Yeah.
And one of them was talking about what I just said, and it makes perfect sense to me. It's like you're trying to reclaim just a couple seconds of that magic. And it's just like, I know it's there somewhere. I know you're hiding it. I know you've got it in a box. I know you do. And you're gonna open the little box and go, there it is. And even The Rock coming back, right?
Right.
I shouldn't be excited about that. He's not going to come back full time.
No.
That was the big argument. That was the old argument. And now we're just like, Bryan Danielson's gone.
Like, please.
And I don't believe he's gone, by the way.
No.
Just, there's not enough noise about that.
Yeah, no.
I don't believe he's gone. Here's what I think's happening on that. I think WWE, part of the surprise is they're going to set up a deal where a couple of guys wrestle a couple of high profile outside of WWE matches.
Oh.
Okay. Not an actual working relationship, although the internet will melt.
Right. Yeah.
I'm saying, imagine, so a motherfucker actually has no contract.
Right.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Okay. And they may not wink, wink. Because there is such a thing as handshakes in wrestling. There's such a thing as, hush money. And
right.
Stuff like that. Just saying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you go out there, it's like, look, we need to get our value up.
Right.
You've looked like, Chester the Billy Goat for fucking 10 years. You need to go out there, be a stiff bastard, beat the fuck out of some indie guys.
You think they're going to send him back to Ring of Honor?
No. Which would be awesome.
Yeah, if he just went and beat up all the luchadors.
It'd be awesome. I think he might have a big match in Japan.
Ooh.
Or 3.
That would be really cool.
Like a huge match.
Yeah.
But under the guise that he's not with WWE.
Right. Like, nobody thinks that he's under contract anymore.
You can't outsmart Vince. You can think you're outsmarting Vince, but Vince can easily send somebody over there.
He's always there.
And go over there, pal.
He's the real invisible hand.
Have 3 matches, pal. Come back. I think that's what they intended for Jericho.
Oh, yeah?
Sometimes, even with your best heat guy in a territory, and we go back to the old territory days, like me, I have to cool off every now and then. Because if not, you become either really cool to the fans,
right,
and you're a babyface.
Uh-huh.
Which has happened to me before.
Yeah.
I literally stayed around so long.
People liked you.
that I got cheered, and it organically happened that we were baby faces.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Yes.
So you got to cool off. And even a real hot baby face, sometimes they have to cool off. If you don't make them a heel,
yeah,
you do have to cool them off a little bit. They used to do it at the Rock and Roll Express sometimes. They'd split them up. They'd give Ricky Morton like singles matches against Ric Flair, and it would cool them off just a tad, and then they come back. Because you get wore out on people, man. Imagine your favorite song.
Yeah.
Song comes on, it's the best song you ever heard. Oh my God, I could listen to this on the radio every hour.
Right.
They play it on the radio every hour.
Please play something else.
After 4 days, you're like, man, I fucking can't listen to this song. I mean, it's the Nickelback curse.
Right.
It's the curse of Rockstar.
That's a great song.
People lost their minds over that song, but then they were like, because they had that and they had that photograph. Yeah. You can't have 2 songs back to back like that. And
just play them constantly.
Yeah, it's kind of like, Heaven from Warren. I could think of so many bands that were like initially cool.
And then they just played them out.
Yeah, they played the piss out of them. And it's the same thing in wrestling. Yeah. You can't do that. So you have to cool people off. So I'm thinking, look, you send maybe a couple of guys. Try it out with Daniel Bryan. Uh-huh. The worst thing that could happen is already happened.
He doesn't come back.
Yeah. And they're like, look, how many hits does he have left?
Right.
Like, we send him there, he's probably going to die anyway. So if he lives and we get him back, and of course I'm joking.
I know.
He goes over there, he'll have classic matches. So it's just a thought. That might not happen.
I'd like to see him go spice up the junior heavyweight division.
Yeah,
although he'd probably face the heavyweights too.
Hey, listen, it would help them just as much as it would help New York.
Yes.
But I put a lot of thought into this, so what makes New York better? They're talking about big surprises, things that really bring people back. And I put a lot of thought into this, and I kept thinking of AEW. I kept thinking, well, I know something you could probably do that would work.
Yeah.
Because I know something that's amazing that people won't, ever see coming. But I came up with a few things. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind.
Just a couple things.
I'm curious.
So, WWE, this is my open letter to you. If you really want to get better, and you really want to shock fans, and you really want to just blow the roof off everything, if you do these things, I'll delete this podcast. And no one will ever have proof.
That it was your idea.
The people that listened will think it was a weird dream. They'll think it was a fever dream after they watched Raw one night.
Like, I think I heard this on a podcast, but when they go back to find it, it's not there.
They're like, no, it's not. It's not there. Okay. First off, fire all the writers. You obviously have no bones against saving money.
Radical.
So you've said, well, we can't have 3 people doing the same job and all this stuff. Well, guess what? You've got 31 people writing what they think Vince would write. All right? So they're all trying to make Vince happy. Now, I'm not talking about agents. You keep Michael Hayes because he's a booker. All right? You keep people like that. You keep people agents. You keep people that's going to help formulate a match. When the guys come up with their own match and their own stuff, you have finish guys that come up with amazing finishes, right? You just kind of direct it a little bit. Hey, what can we do here differently? Well, actually, you could do this. That's what wrestling is. The guys come up with their own damn match. You know all those classic matches you see in New Japan? Well, Gato's the booker, but he doesn't do a damn thing on the matches.
No.
Not a damn thing. Okay? It's not like they have these the guys come up with their match. That's how it really works. And here you have these 7-star matches, and guess who came up with them? You know, when you have these great promos, you see a good promo on AEW. Well, even back and forth stuff, you would imagine that has to be pre-formulated. Chris Jericho said himself, we kind of know like the last word that we're listening for, so we can jump in correctly and have timing. Mm-hmm. We don't know what they're going to say.
Nope.
So the back and forth and stuff. And sometimes they're not the best in the world, but more times than not, when somebody gets a promo out there, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's unreal. There's been careers made already off people's ability to get over on a promo.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston.
Yeah. That's who I was thinking of.
I mean, Eddie Kingston got his chance on NWA, and he's like, great, boys. Sorry about your damn luck, but I'm going to go out here and own this microphone a little bit. And he did the same thing where he's at. And, you know, God love him for it.
And people adore him.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. So here we go. Fire the writers. And I don't care, writers. We don't need you. Go back to Hollywood or wherever the hell you were writing porn, because I can't imagine you writing anything better than that. Promos using only bullet points. Okay? Let the boys do the promos. If they can't do promos, guess what? They shouldn't be in New York.
Or they need a manager.
Yes.
To do the talking.
Very sexy manager from the South. So boys keep their names. When somebody comes there and they're named Soul Patrol Jones, you know, and yes, I said Patrol on purpose. Soul Patrol Jones comes there. Let him be Soul Patrol Jones. If it don't get over, then talk to him about it. And be like, man, maybe you should do something. But more than likely, if you hired him, he was over. Because you only steal people that are over.
Yeah.
You've done it since day one. Yet you stole people and you changed their gimmick, Red Rooster. What the hell? You know, they're like, God, that wasn't a rib. He didn't own it. What? How the fuck was a Red Rooster not a rib? How the fuck was that not a rib? You know? They love to have revisionist history. Fuck revisionist history. And anybody who wants to do it. You know,
Here.
I would like a lot of those people as people probably. But the way they go back and change what happened, even when I watch WWE documentaries, I just sit there and I want to pull my eyeballs out.
You're like, that's not how it happened.
No, I mean, they gloss over so many big parts of people's careers and stuff that was really important.
Just
okay.
because they weren't in
Right.
WWE.
Right.
At the time.
It's like the Roddy Piper documentary. They kind of gloss over Crockett.
Just a little.
Just what the fuck? Oh.
I know this isn't as drastic, but I'm still mad about War Machine.
Yes.
They're still basically the same gimmick.
Yeah.
But they're not.
It wouldn't hurt nothing.
No.
It wouldn't hurt
It just
nothing.
makes me upset.
Yes, I agree. But not only the names, let them do their moves.
Oh, yeah.
Don't formulate it into the WWE style.
Yeah, no. They were fantastic.
Because when we watch WWE, it's every match is the same. It's the same moves.
Yeah.
With the exception of maybe the one move that Michael Cole is going to mention 5,000 times.
Out of nowhere.
Along with the nickname. Okay? Oh, head of the table. Head of the table. Head of the table. Head of the table.
He's the tribal chief.
He is the tribal chief. He's not Big Match John.
He's a suitor.
There you go. All right. Don't fuck with the third party. That's the next one. If they want to have Instagrams and they want to have, you know, YouTubes.
Twitch.
Yeah. Let them twitch away. You know what it does? Create stars.
Yeah.
You get stars. Like you had Zack Ryder that one time and squashed him.
The people who are watching those third-party things are going to come watch them in WWE.
You're going to make more money from the money you're losing. It's going to equal out because, see, they're going to get over. They're not going to come watch it on WWE channel. You can have the same Twitch thing on a WWE channel, and they're not going to go watch it. They're going to watch it from their living room with their name, and them maybe saying something every now and then that's kayfabe-ish or not kayfabe-ish. You know, I think that they're going to be more over because they're going to come to your shows, your live events. They're going to buy the T-shirts that are licensed by you because they love them.
Yes.
But they can't get a chance of loving them if you don't let us know them. Mm-hmm. We have to know them.
They don't feel like real people sometimes.
No, it's like, you know, how many people have you seen wearing Days of Our Lives stars T-shirts?
I don't think I've ever seen a t-shirt.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, there's not like a lot of Stefano shirts out there. It's a Days of Our Life throwback, but I'm just saying.
If you have a Days of Our Life t-shirt, please let us know.
I'm just saying, because it was just over the top cheese, and yeah, you may have secretly watched it and been a guilty pleasure.
Right.
But it's hard to get behind that shit because it's not the real people.
Right, yeah.
And, that's why reality shows were such a big hit. Because people thought at least they were real. Mm-hmm. And it is the real people. They're heavily choreographed, but, you get my point, hopefully. Allow some of your guys to work indies. What happens is you get, like, experience.
Right.
And, plus, the indies are getting a rub, but they're pushing you and they're pushing your product.
Yeah.
And then they're watching their boys who you let come down there on Monday night. It's a big deal.
Yeah, someone local sees your guy at their show, and then they're like, oh, I could watch them again.
So how many reports do we get that so-and-so was backstage, they had nothing for them?
Yeah.
Because they got such a big roster.
Yeah.
So there's so many that there's nothing for them.
Yeah.
But they're WWE contracted people. So imagine if at my next Innovate show, we had 4 of those guys.
Right.
My God.
Yeah, people would lose their mind.
Yeah, I mean, we could run Freedom Hall. I mean, it would be gigantic. Mm-hmm. And then they would see those on an indie.
Yeah.
Those guys would be cool again.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm getting at, right? Like,
yeah.
And plus it gives them experience. Because when they come to an indie, guess who's calling the match? The guy from New York.
Those guys.
Yeah, out of respect. You allow that to happen.
Yeah.
And that's just...
And that gives them more experience to call their matches when you fire all the writers.
And when they do local promos.
Yeah.
They're learning.
It's like a class. Just think of it like an outsourced class.
Listen, Braun Strowman, Adam Shearer didn't have that experience. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he didn't understand it.
Yeah.
There's a passion with pro wrestling and pro wrestlers. Now, you get some of these assholes. And they're just assholes. Mm-hmm. And I have to share locker rooms with many assholes sometimes. Not as much anymore. But in the past, where guys were like, it's all about the money. If you said not about the money, you're a mark. Well, yes, I am a mark. I'm a fucking gigantic mark. I'm Marky Mark, the Markist. And that's how I started. I started in my floor, playing with my wrestlers, booking my own cards. Mm-hmm. And then I started with my friends, booking my promotion in a yard. And I went through those until I got to meet somebody and go into wrestling and get my ass kicked several times and keep coming back. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing to other people. I've done it a million times. I mean, there's a rite of passage. There's a passion. Pro wrestling is unlike any other thing in this entire planet. And you got to stop hating wrestlers. When people come in to be commentators and they have wrestling experience and that's a bad thing, the stories that I've seen where people come in, it's like, do you have any advice? Yeah, don't let them know that you like wrestling. Does that not seem fucked up to anyone else?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like if you're trying out for the NFL, do you think that anybody ever comes? Do you think John Madden ever went up to a guy trying out? It's like, hey, buddy. Well, let me tell you, pal, the only thing I can tell you is do not let them know that you know what a turducken is. and no, of course not. They want guys that were in college. Mm-hmm. Maybe called some high school ball.
Yeah.
Maybe know how many downs it is. Maybe know the whole point of the fucking game.
Why is passion such a bad thing?
It should be a federation filled with marks. And that's why I hate the word mark anyway. And I'm using it in that context because that's what you act like.
Yeah.
And it's a derogatory term that was made in the Carney days because of, we all know why. If you're listening to this show, you know why. Okay. You put the mark on the guy that's spending the fucking money. You see all the cash with the one guy. He's got the girl. He's trying to win the bunny. And that's the games that you fuck him on. And you keep taking his money because he's a dumb ass mark. And that's what it is. That's the term. Now, it has grown, I would argue, into being a word just meaning fan.
Yes.
And that's what
at least that's what it should be.
That's what a lot of fans think. But some of my good friends like Chase Owens, that's a fighting word for him. Mm-hmm. He can't stand to hear the word mark.
Right.
He thinks it's his fans. And Chase gets a lot of shit sometimes because he's in the biggest, team in the world.
Yeah.
So people are going to shit. That's just what they do because no one can be happy for anyone, as we've seen recently with Blake.
Exactly.
Blake Christian, one of the coolest dudes I ever met, goes up to not only get on WWE TV in the first place, but then make his NXT debut.
Yeah. And
blow away everybody in his Kushida match the other night. And, there's people negative. There a lot of people are positive, but there's people negative. And it's just like, you know what? Why do we have to be that way as a society?
I don't know.
It's stupid. WWE, quit hating wrestlers, okay? Quit hating people that are fans, people that love wrestling. Embrace them.
Yeah.
Make it a big deal. Don't snicker when somebody comes in and meets one of them. It's like, oh, did you see what he acted around PS? You know what? I'm going to fucking faint. Okay? Michael P.S. Hayes was a god to me. I've met him before, but, he was cool as shit. That's my story. I need to give Punky a hard time about that because I'm around Ricky Morton all the time. I love Ricky Morton. Mm-hmm. When I come in the locker room, Ricky Morton's there. Takes like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I love him. But it's a funny story. Rock and Roll Express, I'm waiting out back as a kid for the wrestlers. And Rock and Roll Express blow right by me. Won't even look. And they're the baby faces. Freebirds come out. Michael Hayes is like, hey man, what's going on? And he fucking remembered me from buying the album and shit. Like I bought the Off the Streets album. It's a great album. Shut up. But, I remember Adrian Street. Adrian Street was cool to me when he was a heel. And it's probably not good on them. They're probably like, shut up, kid, But it was, I remember those guys.
Yeah.
And there's times, even when I'm mean to fans, I am mean in a John Hawkins way.
In a way that they're going to remember.
They know. I'm not mean in a condescending, oh, you're such a fucking mark kind of way.
Right.
I play the character. I am absolutely John Hawkins from the time I pull in the parking lot to the time I leave the parking lot. And if I meet them in a store somewhere, I'm John Hawkins. That's what they deserve. They paid, it's hard to bring your family to wrestling. If you come and you've spent $150, you're probably not feeding one of the kids. The least favorite kid is sitting there. There's one kid not having a good time at that show. It's the kid that knows that the parents don't like him as much. And they're like, fuck. No Hot Pockets for me this week. SpaghettiOs it is.
But hell, they get to see John Hawkins.
They do get to see John Hawkins. And that's been something to see here recently. So,
I mean, if someone grew up loving wrestling and took the time to go through the indies and all that, they're probably going to be a good wrestler. And
they're going to be so appreciative.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to do whatever.
This is all they've ever wanted, as opposed to someone you just pluck out of another sport or something that's already famous or whatever. Yeah,
you put a guy on TV to be a manager that you took out of, like, not wrestling.
Yeah.
When you got guys that the only reason they're not wrestling now is because of a terrible injury. I'm just saying, I know some guys.
Yes.
And they're incredible managers. Mm-hmm. They'd probably leave their family and everything.
Yeah.
For a shot.
Probably.
Just guessing. They would send stuff home. All right. So next one. You got a lot of TV shows. There are. There's a ton of TV shows. I had to actually search for the one that Alex and Blake were on because it's hard to find because I don't watch 205 Live. I didn't know it was still alive.
Me either, honestly.
So I found it. And I also found out that there's still other shows. Like fucking Superstars. Like, what? I mean, there's other shows.
That's what they're doing with all that talent that's backstage.
No, but they're not. So why don't we create a dark? A show where the guys you bring up, the local guys, have them against your guys that are coming up in job matches.
Yes. Put it somewhere easily accessible.
Give the indie guys a chance, okay, to bump for these guys. and these guys to get their finishers over and their characters over. Let them do ringside promos. Do it in the NXT. Do it in Full Sail or whatever fuck ever it's called, the Capitol Wrestling Center.
Yeah.
Do it there, and have ringside promos like the old days. Let them do it in the ring. Roll out of the ring. Billy Corgan's like dying right now. That's my idea. It's fine on my rage. But have them. It's not your idea, Billy. It's fucking some guy in the 40s idea, okay? And the 50s, and the 60s, and the 70s, and the 80s. Repurposing an idea is not your idea. Just saying. All right. Not that I have anything against. Today is the greatest day I've... Fuck NWA. God damn, that was a bad pay-per-view. God damn, that was a bad pay-per-view.
I didn't even prepare anything on that.
Because it was fucking the shits.
It was so bad.
It was like, there was like 80 people that bought it. Did you see the numbers?
No. Was it that bad?
It was bad.
Wow. And we were one of those.
We were.
I think we're marks now.
Yeah. It was like, there might have been like 200 or something. But I mean, we're talking in the hundreds. Like, what the fuck?
We wanted to see it. We were excited.
I support it.
Yes.
Right? And then they fucking, they spread their cheeks. I was under a glass table. That's all I'm going to say. And I had to watch it as it hit. Okay? Oh, wow. That was a bad pay-per-view. Man, that was so hard to watch.
We watched it. All of it.
Yeah, we did.
We just kept hoping it was going to get better.
Damn. Do I hear sirens or is that in my head?
I think those are real.
All right. So turn one of the shows into a dark. Call it something else, like Black. You don't have to worry about that name anymore. So, the next one. Now, this is a hard one. This is the C word. Continuity.
I think you went too far.
Repeat it after me. Continuity. Continuity. It's even a fun word. It's a Woody word.
Yes.
Continuity.
It's fun to say.
You need to continuously keep the storylines going. You need to put somebody in charge of that.
Make sure everything lines up.
Just one person. Just one person. I'll do it for free. You don't have to credit me. Just call me.
Just send me the plans and I'll make
call
sure.
me. Just call me and say, hey, we were thinking of letting this person wrestle. No! They lost the loser leave WWE forever match. You can't let him be the GM. What? Oh, that was just for wrestling? Now you're talking about her making a fucking return? There better be a goddamn reason. That's all I'm saying. There better be a reason.
We were thinking of giving this person a title match. They just lost last week.
Yeah, like, and last week was every week.
They haven't won a match in 4 years.
Yeah. And now they're important.
Oh.
Yeah. Continuity. Look it up.
Maybe make those wins and losses matter while you're at it.
Well, that's what I was getting to.
So that's your next one.
The next one is make wins and losses start counting.
Okay. No more 50-50 booking.
Yeah, I don't care if you don't want to say 112-4. Okay? That's fine. But you got to remember the losses. Even if you did a percentage thing, you have to remember the wins and losses.
Yeah.
It does matter. Bring time limits back. Why the fuck don't you tell how long time is? Do you know how fucking fucked up that is? It's just stupid. It's weird. It's just weird. Say the word wrestling. Do you want wrestling fans to watch? I don't care if you got some convoluted old fuck that is in there going pow, 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 pow. All right? I get it, right? I love the guy. Okay? I do. He's fucking crazy why I love him.
He's a character.
Because he's fucking crazy. Because he fucked Bret Hart in Canada and thought he was going to be the baby face coming on Raw. I can never let that go. That's when I fell in love with him. I liked him already because he was a big dude. He came out when I was at Viking Hall for a TV tape and had that stupid ass blazer on. And he comes out and walking on the stage, walking like the cock of the walk. And I'm just like, that dude is the shit. I knew right then. See, I wasn't smart to the business at the time. I went to a TV taping for 19 hours when I was a kid for a show we didn't get. We got WWE Superstars of Wrestling, Superstars of Wrestling, before they dropped the of wrestling part. Before they dropped the of wrestling part. When they just started calling it Superstars.
Hint, hint.
And they did like four weeks of challenge. I didn't get challenge. Challenge was when they had Gorilla Monsoon as the commentator. I'd have loved to have challenge. Didn't get challenge. And they did primetime. And I got to see the primetime matches. But anyway, I digress, Taz. So McMahon came out and I knew, because I seen people shiver me timbers. And you only shiver me timber when it's like a pirate or a boss. And I was pretty sure he wasn't a pirate.
But like the big boss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he carries himself like that. Like he has a holster for his cock. You know what I mean? You can tell. I mean, it don't matter how big it is. I bet it feels big because of the way he fucks you. I bet he pounds that ass. You know? So it don't matter because you're going to remember it in a different way. You're going to be like, yeah. Fuck, it was fucking huge. I don't know. He was fucking slapping me and spitting in my fucking mouth. Like I was like, I don't even like this kind of stuff. I'm not that kind of what? Okay. I'm kind of turned on. And it's like, I'm not even a girl. And he fucked me in my pussy. How did that even happen? Because he's Vince fucking McMahon's how it happened. So I do love the guy. But he legitimately thought, well, goddamn. I'm just going to go out there and ring the goddamn bell. And because the motherfucker's not doing the business right. He's the hottest star in the business. Fuck that. The next night, fuck him. I'm going to come out there and say what happened. Brett screwed Brett. That's right. That's what happened. Brett screwed Brett.
And he believed it.
And he thought that he was going to be like
everyone was going to agree with him.
He thought everybody was going to fucking hate Bret Hart and think that was okay. It was in fucking Montreal. It was in fucking Montreal. I watched it live and I'll never forget the feeling. I was like, oh no. No, that didn't just happen. Oh, that happened. What that You can't have a group of people around you that are telling you the truth.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah, no, they're just going to say whatever they think you want to hear.
At my job.
That's what we're here for.
At my shoot job, I ask people, please tell me the truth. Please tell me the truth. And I have a group of people that tell me the truth. They do. They respectfully tell me the truth. But, I mean, I laugh about it, though. Mm-hmm. I don't have that pride thing. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, I'll yell at people. Like it happened last week. You know, I made 4 stores stay open until 10 o'clock. The rest of them could stay open until 9 o'clock. Because those 4 stores had so many people still there at 9 o'clock. So they were staying late anyway. Potential for business. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I yell the first night that I'm trying to do numbers. It's like 9:15. 4 stores haven't reported. And I'm like, well, I could go to bed if it wasn't for these 4 fucking stores or whatever. And I start getting these text messages like, you asked us to stay open until 10, sir. And it's like, no. Of course I did. Yeah. But I had fun with it.
Right.
And then I made fun of it on our weekly conference call.
Right.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
You have humility.
You make yourself human.
You know how much people respect humility?
So much.
And when you do that, you don't have to be right about everything.
It's better than fear.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's a lot better than fear. It's a lot better than what the fuck has ever been happening lately. So reduce the DQ non-finish bullshit. Ugh. Okay,
the roll-ups.
I'm not saying get rid of it completely, because believe it or not, getting rid of it completely also creates a little bit of schism every now and then.
Yes.
I've seen opportunities where a DQ would have worked. Mm-hmm. And, instead of the same finish. Believe it or not, a small package, a slipover is what we call it in the business. Mm. But, a schoolboy or a small package.
Right.
Too many of those with outside interference is worse than DQs to me. Like
It just makes it seem like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like give a mix.
Right.
You know, it's fine. I don't want a bunch. I like real finishes.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to get an angle over, sometimes you got to have a DQ. I mean, because you're getting the angle over. You're getting this dirty bastard just saved this title.
But not every week.
No. I put reduce them by 90%.
Yes.
And that would
work.
Yeah. That would give us, 2 or 3 real matches a show. Build a tag division.
Oh, man.
I know that sounds weird. Okay. And I know the thought of a tag team match headlining WrestleMania. But there was a time that you guys acquired the Road Warriors. And you didn't call them the Road Warriors. You called them their other name, the Legion of Doom. Because they were Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. And, some people could say, well, the Road Warriors was a movie. The Road Warrior was a movie. You're right. Legion of Doom is the evil fucking characters from DC Comics. So I wonder which one kids knew more.
Yeah.
Do you think the kids that watched wrestling knew who the Legion of Doom was? Or the Road Warrior movie from 1983. A rated R movie, by the way. So I wonder which one kids would have fucking known more. So you had the name value of the Road Warriors. They call it the Road Warrior Pop, because they were over.
Yeah.
And paying for music, by the way, instead of having some crazy guy locked in a room with a keyboard. I mean, it's cool, and it's one of the Stockholm Syndrome things, because everybody's like, man, I miss Jim Johnston. I mean, I loved his music. I loved his... You know what? This is probably an unpopular opinion. He made some cool fucking theme songs, but how much cooler would it have been if Taker was coming out to Sabbath? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if
recognizable songs.
If Taker had come out to Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, like, if you had these guys... I don't know, Roman Reigns would probably come out to Taylor Swift. I don't know. But if you had guys...
Comes out to the Moana song.
Yeah, oh, God. Oh, my God. All right, folks, that's it. Appreciate it. Letting us come back, and we'll see you next time. The Moana song. That's all I'm gonna play it now when he comes out.
The Rock was in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Don't try making it better.
But I understand what you're saying, because, like, think about how much people lost their minds when, like, Moxley came out to Wild Thing.
Yeah.
After all these years of not having real music.
Because it's identifiable, and
because you're like, I love that song.
Yeah, it's really cool because, again, when I was a kid, we not only came up with our character names that we were going to be, but what our theme song was going to be.
Yeah.
And kids,
it's an important part of your character.
Think about on the indies. Do you know what a big part of the fun of the big indie boom has been? When me and Rajja would go to Northeast shows, and the song, whatever song they were coming out to, the fans would sing every line to the song. I mean, there was some Limitless shows in Maine.
Oh, Ace Romero.
My God.
AC Baby.
And it... Josie's on a vacation far away. I mean...
Oh, it was so much fun.
And we just felt so good.
Yeah.
And, every guy, everybody, every girl had a song. The first time I fell in love with Chris Statlander. You remember what she was coming out to?
Something alien related?
E.T. Extraterrestrial.
E.T., yeah.
Yeah.
By Katy Perry. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, dude. I love that song anyway. But she came, it was so cool.
Yeah.
And she had other songs though, but I mean, I remember her coming out to that. There was so many of them that came out to really cool songs. Plus you feel like you know a little bit about that person.
Yeah, because of what kind of music they pick.
When I saw Mox come out to Hole, not only did he come out to Violet, but see, Violet is a personal song to me. It's on every playlist I've ever made, that whole song.
So you feel a little closer to him.
Yeah, I mean...
as a person.
Because I love that song so much. It's a personal song. Like, the words mean a lot to me. And when I see somebody else come out to that, I'm like, oh, somebody else that might have felt the same kind of pain.
Right. It's another part of that making them human sort of deal. Like, you kind of get inside their head when you hear that song.
Yeah, I mean, Big Show could have came out to Lynyrd Skynyrd. He could have came out to anything instead of, well, Now, I laugh at it.
Yes.
But it still could have been so much more classic because you wanted him to be a killer heel.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
You don't want him to be funny.
No. I mean, and they did that way too many times, and then they would try to turn him on as a killer.
Yeah.
And then they would
wishy-washy.
Then they would show him in a diaper. And then they would have him be a killer. And then they get mad at him for not getting over. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that.
They're like, you have to do the most with what we give you. And it's like, well, stop giving me so much.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean, even Jungle Boy's talked about how his nerves have improved drastically since getting his old theme music back.
Yeah.
It helps them too.
Yeah.
If they're coming out to something they love, they're going to rock it.
Yeah. I mean, and it's cool. And yes, it costs money. But man, again, it's like the third party thing. You know how much more money you make from having, I mean, I'm telling you, there's more fans from stuff like that.
Yeah.
It makes you want the shirt more. It makes you, I mean, it's just cool stuff. So the next one on my list, get rid of the two brands. Get rid of Raw and SmackDown. Still have Raw and SmackDown. Have the same people. The same one title belt.
Yeah.
One world champion.
Let everyone wrestle on both.
It's the world heavyweight champion. Let it be the world heavyweight champion. And you go after that title. And you have the guys and girls on both shows. And, you know, the same stars. How star-studded is that lineup? Mm-hmm. It's pretty fucking star-studded.
Yeah. And
it also mixes up your matchups. Because right now, you know, we see the same match for like 15 weeks in a row.
Yes.
And there's only so many times Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin. I mean, nobody cares. And when you water people down, like we said earlier, like Shinsuke's not Shinsuke.
No.
That's not New Japan Shinsuke.
No.
It's a shell of a man. You know?
Right.
It's not who it's supposed to be. And again, the last one, the very last one, quit trying to be funny. Because whoever it is that thinks they're funny, you're not funny. Like, the comedy is not funny.
It's cringy.
It's like shit for a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
But you can't let your 4-year-old see it because of the stuff they're doing.
Right.
Like, it's like South Park. South Park's supposed to be a bunch of 4th graders.
Yeah.
But you can't let a 4th grader watch it.
No.
That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's potty humor done by middle-aged men.
Right, yeah.
And
which is the worst kind.
And they think it's funny.
Yeah.
Because they're only feeding off each other.
Yeah. Until they get around like women.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oops.
I mean, if there was like one 25-year-old chick in that room, I guarantee you they'd be like, huh.
Maybe I shouldn't make the fart joke.
So you're just bringing this Piper Niven. You're going to bring her in to be the... So you do know that she was a big deal, right?
Yeah. Really good, too.
And you're going to bring her in to be the friend that's just fawning over... Are you serious?
The comedic relief.
And, you know, somebody needed to say, no, that's not a good idea.
It's a little insensitive.
Yeah, dude.
Just a little bit.
And again, passion. Somebody that came up the right way will do anything.
Yeah, if they get to be on the big show.
How sad is that?
It is. I feel bad for her.
And it's not the first time that's happened. If you don't fall into their, you know, I'm telling you, dude.
Their guidelines.
Women's Revolution. Yeah.
No. Yeah, no. Yeah.
There's one channel that does that.
Yes.
And, you know, that's where you see a bloodbath and
yeah.
a match of the year candidate.
Best women's division.
Because you see actual women being women. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they're sexy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're scary. And
a lot of times they're both.
Just like men. You know? It's some of them are sexy, some of them are scary, some are big, some are little. They come in all sizes. And
there are amazing women in WWE, but there's not a ton of variety.
Yeah.
Like shape-wise.
Yeah, there's a mold. I mean, it tends to be a mold.
A little bit.
So.
A little bit.
And yeah, they're talented as hell. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, they are. And there's some great, great, great matches too that they've had in the past when they were
occasionally
when they were in NXT. But yeah, so
I'd like to add my own.
Oh
thing
yeah,
here.
Go ahead.
I just want to propose the option of multi-man tags, but like not in the way you're doing it now where it just pops out of nowhere and like is created on the fly because of some random happenstance.
Yes.
What I'm talking about is stop having singles matches every single week, especially the same one, and build up to those matches by putting 6, 8, 10 men against each other in the match where they have moments where they're facing their rival. Very New Japan, I know, but that
no, that's exactly New Japan.
It builds up to it so much better than, like, you're not excited for Shinsuke versus Baron Corbin, as an example, at the big show if you've seen them wrestle 20 times up until the big show.
Yeah.
Just, it's not as exciting. It kills me. It just burns me out.
Yeah, so you'd rather see a spot between the guys.
Yeah, like in a multi-man.
Yeah.
That would be so much better if they had two teams and then Shinsuke and Baron, like, face off and they have a couple moves, but no one really gets the upper hand. You're like, oh God, what's going to happen when they finally face?
Yeah. No, it
works.
It
Trust me.
It does work. It does.
It gets people excited.
I mean, that would be different for them.
Maybe make some factions.
People
love factions.
That was the hottest time in WWE.
Yeah, people buy the crap out of merch for factions.
When they had faction warfare. I mean, man, that was the hot time. And I don't know, dude. That's just some ideas that just, you know, if you
rewrite the entirety of WWE.
I mean, if you're looking for change.
Yeah.
That's just
if you're open to it.
Just some ideas. I mean, not that what you're doing is not terrible. I mean, it's
are we even going to talk about what's going on with Shayna Baszler and Alexa Bliss right now? Because
I don't think so.
I don't think... Do we even need to bring that up right now?
I don't think this would be the show for it.
Okay.
You know, hey guys, we're back, by the way.
Yeah.
And we're not going away. So we're back, and some cool things about it. We're doing something really cool for Patreon. We've been trying to figure out what would be good for Patreon, and
we've been workshopping it.
And it gets, you know, to get people excited about the patron and, you know, stuff. The patronage, the Patrono, the Patron. Yeah, there you go. So how do we get you to drink the Patron? I'm going to do one thing. We're going to have a watch along. And it's going to be every fucking week. And we're going to go week by week on Raw of 1997. Starting with the first one of 1997. Obviously, we're not going to start with June. So we're going to do it every week. When it's a pay-per-view week, you're going to get two. Because we're going to do the pay-per-view as well. And we're going to have, you know, stats, figures, all the fun stuff that we steal from other people. And because, I mean, there's only so many ways we could do it. We could do it standing on our heads. I mean, but that
wouldn't be fun for anyone.
The fun thing is what gets said, trust me. So, because it'll get said. And, you know, we'll have a good time. We will have a blast. So we don't care if you do or not. But we would love for you to join us. And if a lot of you end up joining us doing it, we'll do some live, man. You know, we'll do it with you at the same time. It's much more fun when we do it at the same time. So you just sit over there and we'll sit over here.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time to move on for a little palate cleanser.
Oh, hold on just a second.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I know, but we still have to talk about what's coming up with WWE.
Well, we can talk about Samoa Joe.
Yes, we could. That's sort of a palate cleanser.
Samoa Joe's employed.
Yes, he is. He returned to NXT this week.
He's like an enforcer type guy.
Yeah, basically he just wants to work with William Regal instead of taking his job.
Yep.
And make sure that all this chaos in NXT isn't going on as it has been.
Yeah, he's totally going to wrestle.
Well, he has two rules.
Yeah.
One, he's not allowed to be a competitor. And two, he's not allowed to lay his hands on anyone unless provoked.
Well, he's going to be laying his hands. He's already laid his hands on people. So
I know. I think he was provoked.
He was. He was. But it's good to have him on there. It'll be good for the show.
I'd like to see him define provoked.
Yeah. No, it'll be good for the show. And you know how
I'm glad he still has a job.
It'll eventually work up to him. He should never have left.
No.
I mean, he was
Triple H wasn't happy.
Well, the original deal. I'm talking about NXT. He shouldn't have left. The original deal was he was going to be able to work some indies.
Mm-hmm.
And they canceled that like the first year.
Of course they did.
But it was like what I was talking about. It's a really great idea.
Yeah, it would have been amazing. But,
Anyway. So what's your other stuff?
Well, the only other thing we have to talk about is Hell in a Cell, which is this weekend on June 20th.
Isn't that hard to believe?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like...
That it's time.
Yeah.
But it is.
It doesn't seem like they built anything up for a Hell in a Cell, does it?
No, but they have.
Yeah.
So the matches that we have are the SmackDown Women's Championship match.
Is that in a cell?
No.
Oh.
I'll let you know when it's in a cell.
Oh, okay.
Bianca Belair versus Bayley and her laughing at her. We also have the Raw Women's Championship, which is Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair.
Oh, I love that matchup.
Asuka's not involved this time.
Okay.
So
Okay, I love that match.
So we have our Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre.
Dear Jesus.
And if Drew McIntyre loses, he's not allowed to challenge for the WWE Championship as long as Bobby Lashley still holds it.
Okay.
So they can't do this match again if he loses.
All right. And remember, there'll be no blood.
Yeah, no. So our other Hell in a Cell match is Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship.
I've seen some people that were excited about this. I'm not one of those people. Now, there's I would be excited for just about any Roman Reigns match.
Yes.
Right now, because I do love the character. And I mean, yeah, it's good stuff. It's the best stuff they've got going. Mm-hmm. And by far. I can't get excited about any Rey Mysterio match anymore. It don't tickle my fancy.
That may be the best stuff they're doing, but we also have Shayna Baszler versus Alexa Bliss.
Oh my God.
They're doing the match.
Oh my God.
It's not in a cell, at least. It's just a match. Lily will probably interfere.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But that's it. That's all I have. So we can move on now.
All right. So where we weren't on here, I don't think I said that proper English at all, but
we missed a bit.
NJPW Dominion was June 7th, and guess what? We're going to talk about it anyway.
Because it was good.
Because it was great. We watched it live, pal.
Yes.
And we don't have to get into it.
No.
We'll get into the big ones. Give us what happened. What was the schism there?
Well, the opening match was a Chaos versus Bullet Club match. We had Evil, Chase Owens, Yujiro, Ishimori, and El Phantasmo against Tanahashi, Sho, Ishii, Goto, and Yoshihashi. This ended up in Bullet Club's favor, where Ishimori pinned Sho, which of course sets up tag team title implications there.
Yes.
Which came into play later. Next we had Naito, Sonata, and Bushi versus Taichi, Zack Sabre Jr., and Dookie.
You wanted me to say Dookie, didn't you?
Yes. I was waiting for it.
It was in my head. Does that count?
Yes. So Sonata got the pin over Zack Sabre Jr., which sets up Naito and Sonata going after the tag team titles in the heavyweight division from the Dangerous Tekkers.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yes, they want the gold.
I like that matchup. I like that Naito wants that.
He's just so focused on getting gold of some kind.
No, I like it.
So after that, we had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match between El Desperado and Yo.
Yeah, it was a good match.
It was, yes. And of course, Desperado came out still with the belt.
Yes, and we were very excited about that.
We were happy that he kept the belt.
Because I was worried, honestly.
And after this match is when Ishimori and El Phantasmo came out, and they challenged Sho and Yo for the junior tag team titles, and Ishimori challenged El Desperado for the junior heavyweight title.
Little signs of, maybe some early signs of trouble.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of trouble between,
with Phantasm and Ishimori.
Maybe.
He kind of cut him off there, Ishimori did.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, that's all well and good. We'll go for that, but I want that belt.
Yeah. And Phantasmo was getting ready to ask for it.
Yeah.
So, who knows, right? I mean, they are all evil bastards anyway.
Yes, they are.
Well, what was next?
The co-main event, semi-main event, whatever, was Kota Ibushi versus Jeff Cobb. which they've been building for quite a long time.
And we were very excited. We were there for this.
Yes, we were here for it 100% because these two thrash.
Yes, it was really good, but man.
The story in this match was basically that Cobb was like, I want Murder Ibu.
Yeah.
I want him out here and I'm going to kick his butt.
Yeah.
But as hard as he tried, he kept on cutting off Kota's momentum. He kept beating down on him. And
it was a strange match.
Kota stayed strong.
He did. It was a strange match.
Yeah.
It really was. It wasn't what I was expecting because I expected Murder Boo.
It was. And the ending was a little weird too because it was like the Kamigoyes and then Cobb picked him up for a powerbomb, but Kota like reversed it and on the way down he hit him in the face with his knee.
Yeah, I mean it was a good match, but by Ibushi standards,
yeah,
it wasn't your normal fare.
No, but it was good enough.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
it was a New Japan match, but not a Kota Ibushi match.
Right. I mean, I'd still go 7 out of 10 on it.
Yeah.
But, it's not. I mean, usually if it's Ibushi, you could like phone in. It's going to be a 9, and
right,
and you're probably gonna be right.
Yeah, you're like, it'll probably be about a 9.
I mean, it's like Shingo. I could say, well, that'll probably be 9.5, 9.75.
Yeah,
and you're right.
Yeah,
it will be. And he's yet to let me down, including
in the main event.
Oh my God,
for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
You can only been here.
Shingo Takagi versus Kazuchika Okada. And everyone, I mean, I think going into this match, you're kind of like, it's Okada. He's the champion. Mm-hmm. And you just kind of, in the back of your mind, no matter how much you don't want to, you just kind of expect Okada to come out with the belt in the end.
You've prepared yourself because New Japan is, I don't want to say predictable, because they're not. But they're not predictable at all. But you're almost led to believe they are.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
And that's your downfall.
I don't know if that makes sense at all, but they're so traditional. They are so traditional.
Yeah.
And tradition matters to them.
It does.
So you know that everything matters. Everything's in a sports presentation. The matches make sense. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that doesn't make sense.
Wins and losses matter.
You can watch a match from 83 or 3 days ago, and the only thing that's going to be different is the quality of the cameras they're using. I mean, to an extent.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And there's something beautiful about that.
There is.
And everybody cares. From the production crew on down, you get like the shots that are just amazing.
Yeah.
Because they care about what they do.
They do. They're telling a story through their camera work.
Their freaking guys taking jackets take them better than other places. I mean, like, everything is just amazing.
It is. And in this match, you had like the company guy.
My God, what a good match.
The guy who's like always there and always reliable. And then you have Shingo Takagi, who's an outsider, or he hasn't been for a while, but he was. And he's always showing up and giving these amazing performances. So do you go with the company guy, or do you go with the guy who
has given you nothing but 5-star matches for 2 years?
Exactly. And as we saw, basically this whole match was him going after Okada's back, and Okada fighting back with his tombstones and his money clips and things like that. And they just trade shots over and over again. And at one point, Shingo hit Okada with a Rainmaker. Yeah. Just right there in the middle of the ring. It was ridiculous. And they started like reversing each other's finishers. And then we got like a Made in Japan on the outside of the ring. God, it was crazy. But finally, Shingo managed to get a dragon suplex into a diving forearm and then the last of the dragon.
Yeah.
And when he hit that last of the dragon, I still didn't really believe that it was over.
I thought,
even though that's his finisher.
Yeah, but you know what they do in New Japan? They protect finishers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do.
I mean, that's the whole thing. If you can't beat someone with your finish, that shouldn't be a finish.
No.
Like, I just, that's the whole thing that pisses me off about double countouts or things like that, because they're protecting the, no, if the guy hits you with a finish, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You took his finish. Of course you're going to lose.
Yeah. And Okada lost.
He lost. It was, dude, listen, this was so big.
It was.
This was so big. I love Shingo.
We died.
Takagi.
And were reborn.
It was so amazing because it's one of those things that's just exciting. And, you know, I was excited with Osprey and everything that was going on with the group.
Yeah.
And, of course, shit happened.
That fell apart.
Shit happens. And there's nothing better that could have happened than this.
I know.
You know.
God, we were so excited.
This was...
He deserves it.
I hope they don't Ronnie Garvin him. Like, I hope that his first defense is not his...
Last.
Yeah. I really do. I know what the match is.
Yes. Yes, because after the match,
Yeah.
Shingo cut his promo. He was talking about how when he lost to Will, he didn't get the title, but he still had his heart. And then he said there was only one person that he needed to challenge, and that was Kota Ibushi.
It was really cool because he said, I'm not going to call out Tana. I'm not going to call out, you know, because he was talking about like the big corporate guys, right?
Yeah.
And Kota's the other guy who's kind of like, he's not an outsider, but he's done things that they don't like.
Yes.
He's, you know, he's kind of the bad boy, and, you know, he's done a lot of shit that they criticize, right? And so you have your big Cenas and Reigns, so to speak, and he didn't call out those guys like you would expect. He's like calling out Kota Ibushi, which is awesome because it's like he's not the champion's not picking an easy challenge for himself.
No.
He's you know, basically the hardest possible match he could have.
Yeah, because, I mean, they both lost to Will Ospreay, so I guess he feels the need to prove that he's the one true champion by beating the first champion.
Yeah. So, good stuff, man.
Oh, man.
Just really, really good stuff.
I loved it so much. It was so good.
Yeah. It was fantastic. You need to go out of your way to see it if you haven't seen it.
For sure.
It's fantastic. So what else is going on there now? I know they're back.
Right now, they are doing the Kazuna Road Tour, which is 12 shows. It started on June 14th, goes through July 2nd. And there's a couple of cool things going on during this tour. One of the things that I really love is that in an attempt to prove themselves, Yota Tsuji and Yuya Uemura are undergoing gauntlets. They each have 5 singles matches against New Japan stars to try to show that they're ready to graduate from Young Lion status, because they can't just go out on an excursion to prove themselves right now.
Right.
So they each have 5 different competitors, and in my opinion, Yuya got a little bit tougher here, but... So Tsuji is facing Tanahashi, Taichi, Okada, Zack Sabre Jr., and the Great Okan.
I mean, that's not exactly easy.
No, it's not easy, but Yuya has to face Minoru Suzuki, Zack Sabre Jr., Tanahashi, Taichi, and Kota Ibushi.
Jesus.
Yeah. So they have their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't expect them to win any of these matches, but
no.
I hope they're going to have good showings.
Well, yeah, there's some of those are going to be, I mean, it's going to be all great matches.
Yeah.
They'll have spots to shine, so.
So we also have 2 championship matches during Kazuna Road. The first is on June 22nd for the Never 6-Man Championships. It's Yoshihashi, Ishii, and Goto versus Evil, Yujiro, and Dick Togo.
Yeah, no, Dick to go.
Yes.
So, what's the other one?
The other one's on June 23rd. It's for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. So, Sho and Yo versus Taiji Ishimori and El Phantasmo.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yes. So, we also got some other really big news coming out of New Japan, which is that Wrestle Grand Slam is back on.
Okay, good.
So, they finally rescheduled the Tokyo Dome show. It's going to be on July 25th.
Oh, yeah.
And they've announced that the main event is going to be Shingo Takagi versus Kota Ibushi.
In the Tokyo Dome.
In the Tokyo Dome. They're going to sell that out.
Yeah, that's... there'll be 30,000.
Yeah, definitely.
Because 62 would be the... I would love to see it sell out.
Yeah.
I mean, love it, but I don't know if they're there yet.
Maybe not.
People still... I mean, they just had a bad run of it.
True.
With the COVID. I don't know.
Yeah, it might still be a little on the rocks by the end of July.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah.
And hopefully everybody's really excited and some people have come back and Hiromu's better.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be amazing if Hiromu was back.
Hiromu versus Despy.
And he could get his title back.
He could fight for his title. Yes. Hiromu versus Despy.
I just got my Hiromu stuff in the mail the other day.
Yeah, from Japan.
I was so excited. Yes. I ordered the Hiromu hoodie and the shirt that he always wears. Oh, they're so cool.
Yes.
It took months, but I'm happy.
You know when I said don't say that Mark word? No, I'm just playing.
It's different with him.
It is different with him. I have to live with his cats.
So they had to cancel the Yokohama Stadium show for Wrestle Grand Slam, but they added 2 more shows in September on the 4th and 5th in the MetLife Dome.
Sweet.
So there's more Wrestle Grand Slam. I don't know if this is going to be like a continuing dome/stadium series that they've got going. Maybe. They're just going to keep doing them.
Right. No, that's cool, though.
It is. I'm excited for all of them.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's going to be good stuff, man. And it always is good stuff. But
yes. New Japan never really disappoints.
They will do so much for those shows.
Yeah.
And regardless, the guys are going to work so hard. It's just like, in Mania, normally, you're like, well, I'm not that excited for, but it's a Mania.
They're going to work.
They're going to work their asses off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
And part of it's also just the ambiance of being in the dome.
Yeah.
So.
Which is always fun.
Always fun. So where are we going to now?
Now, I suppose we're going to head right into AEW.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Well, I think we should talk just real quick a little bit of the stuff that happened on Double or Nothing. I know it's been a minute.
It has.
But there was some damn good matches. We know what the star ratings were now on there. So let's just go with the winners and losers. We don't have to go through anything with we'll give the star ratings that came through. The gate. I know there was a few fans at this one.
Oh, yeah, man. This was a big show. There were 5,200 fans in Daly's Place and a $300,000 gate.
Which right now, that's
money.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I think the early pay-per-view numbers were huge too, which I said they would be, by the way.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, I don't know if we do that good because you ticker. And I think it was it second most successful behind the last one?
Yes, second most successful pay-per-view.
They've went up on every single pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I don't see them stopping.
No, they've built on every single pay-per-view.
Yeah, and for good reason, because this pay-per-view was
the best one I've seen.
It was out of this world.
It was the best one they've done. Now, there's been other ones where there was a spectacular match, and not arguably, this actual case, there's been a better match on another pay-per-view.
Yes.
But that was also like a 1 or 2 match show for me.
Right, there were dead spots.
Yeah.
Lulls in the action.
And this was... every match was...
God, it was nonstop.
The damn pre-show.
Oh, my God.
The buy-in match. What was the star rating? Did they give a star rating for the buy-in match?
Yeah, it was 4 stars.
4 stars for a pre-show.
For a pre-show match.
Dude, that was such a good match.
It was. We had former NWA Women's Champion Serena Deeb, she was still champion at the time, versus Riho in a rematch from the women's tournament.
Such a good match.
Serena got her win back.
Anybody that ever had any kind of crap for Riho, you got to watch this match.
It's so good.
Dude, and Serena Deeb is honestly, she really is that good.
She is. Yeah.
She's good at what she is. You could tell why she'd be a good trainer and stuff.
Yeah, I hope she definitely starts giving people pointers.
Yeah, but Riho, man, I've got a different appreciation for her after that match.
Yeah, she's really been working hard, it seems.
I mean, well, I guess that's apparently what people had already seen other places.
Right.
I don't know. I guess I hadn't really seen that side of her.
Right.
I think I almost like her struggling a little bit. There was something there.
Yeah.
And
it's a different kind of match.
Yeah.
Than if she's being tossed around by Nyla Rose for 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, I really dug it. It was good. 4 stars, huh?
4 stars.
Good stuff. Well, I know we had a hot opener too.
Oh, man. Hottest opener.
Yes.
Mr. Hangman Page versus Brian Cage. This match got 4.5 stars.
Which is worth every piece of it.
Yes. And it basically ended up the way you expected. With Brian Cage not wanting the interference, getting distracted.
Yeah.
And Page getting the win over him because of it. Maybe not because of it, but it helped.
And then?
Then we had the AEW Tag Team title match.
Right.
Between Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston and the Young Bucks.
Dude, what about that entrance?
Oh, man. I thought Mox was going to kill someone. They
were so fired up. And
poor Eddie.
I think Eddie had so much emotion because, this is really his coming out with that kind of crowd.
Yeah. He hasn't really had that.
In AEW hasn't.
No.
And it was amazing.
And them all chanting his name.
So what was the star rating?
So We keep trending up. We're at 4 3/4 stars.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was an amazing match.
Yeah, man, that was a great match, but with all the interference and stuff, you can't really give that one 5.
No.
But it was fantastic.
We're always going to have interference with the Elite.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
So after that, we had the Casino Battle Royal.
Which was the best one of those they've done.
Oh, man.
By far.
This got 3 1/4 stars, and you always think you know who's going to win.
Yeah.
Like, you're always pretty sure of who's going to win. Like, I was sure the whole time that Christian was getting the win.
Yes, you were.
And he almost did.
Yes, he did.
But in the end, Jungle Boy finally wins the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
For the title shot.
Absolutely.
I was so proud of him. It's like he's your son. And you're like, yes, finally.
And that's coming up. That's going to be on that special Saturday night edition of Dynamite.
And this match also spawned a crazy feud between Matt Hardy and Christian Cage.
Which is cool. That's probably the only thing they could put Matt Hardy in that I'm super excited about.
Yeah, it's been really cool. So after that, we had the American Dream, Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, if you will.
Versus Anthony Ogogo.
If you will.
And this match only got 2 1/4 stars because obviously Anthony's not really up to that point yet.
No.
And this was like one of those matches where you're just trying to get over the new star, and Cody, like, he did good helping Anthony get over and all that.
Well, Cody used a vertebraker, and I haven't seen a vertebraker in a while, but when I saw it, there was no... I mean, you're not going to kick... You better not kick out of a vertebraker.
It looked nasty.
It is nasty.
Maybe that's his new finisher.
No, it's too dangerous. It's a dangerous move.
So he did it on the new guy?
I think so. Just like, well...
Okay, welcome to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, welcome to Ring of Honor. Good stuff.
After that, we had our TNT title match between Miro and Lance Archer.
Which was surprisingly... I mean, I knew it was going to be a bullfight. But it was surprisingly decent.
Yeah, one of the best parts was when Jake came out with the bag.
Yeah.
With the snake in it.
And
And Miro just tossed it back up the ramp.
I like to think that they actually were going to reintroduce the snake.
I wish.
They're pretending now. They're like, yeah, of course it wasn't a real snake.
There was no snake in there.
Don't ever let Jake have the snake again.
So this got 3 1/4 stars.
Which is a lot for one of those matches.
Yeah, and it ended when Miro, like, stomped the crap out of Lance Archer's back and then put him in the game over.
Yeah, man. This Miro is the best Miro.
Yes.
This
Miro's fantastic.
Absolutely the best Miro.
I love him so much. Next was the AEW Women's Championship match between Dr. Britt Baker and Hikaru Shida.
And the big thing about that match, listen, the match was not by far, it was not the best Britt Baker match ever. But it was you could smell it. Mm-hmm. Britt's on this run, this classic run.
Yeah.
She's on this run that you can't sit down in a room and come up with this run. Mm-hmm. It just has to happen organically.
And it has.
and it really, really, really has. So we've all kind of grown with her, through her journey. Because when she came there, she was an unknown, not virtually unknown. She was an unknown. Mm-hmm. And she's just grown, and we've seen that, and she just owned it and owned this heel persona, and she's legitimately funny.
Yeah,
and
she is.
And she's also just fucking great. I mean,
she's such a personality.
Her promos are great. Of course, the epic blood, feuds, matches that she's had. She got her win. She got her title, and that's just amazing. Mm-hmm. It's just
she deserves it.
She is supposed to be the champion right now.
It's the era of DMD.
It is. It is. I'm there for it.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yes.
That match also got 3.5 stars. It's not too shabby.
No, not too shabby. So then we had
Darby Allin and Sting.
Which was damn cool. Man, how much better was that than you expected?
So much better.
Yeah. I mean...
I wasn't expecting Sting to do as much as he did.
Holy crap, man.
The moment he got up behind Scorpio Sky on those chips, and Scorpio just knew, I was like, oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah, and it reminds you about how big of a man Sting is. You know? So,
man, he's big.
Yeah.
And then he jumped off the chips onto Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page.
Yeah, so it's just amazing.
Jesus Christ.
It's just amazing. At his age, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And it's also ridiculous that he's the one that got the finish.
Yeah.
With his scorpion death drop.
Yes, which...
And that got 3.5 stars as well.
So we're up to the world title match, right?
We are indeed.
And
best match of the night.
So this match better got 5 stars.
It did not.
Did it not?
It got 4.5 stars.
Why?
You'll have to ask the man.
Dude, that was a 5-star match.
It was for me too.
That was a 5-star match.
It was so good.
That match was amazing.
Talk about showcasing 3 different guys so well.
It's so hard to do.
Yeah.
A triple threat or a 3-way. It's so hard to do.
Yeah. Normally when people see a 3-way match, they're like, oh, 3-way.
No, I mean, it's really hard to do those. I remember the 3-way dance from ECW, and I love that match so much. But they're hard to book. They're hard to do. They're hard to have good finishes on. And
I think they did this one pretty good.
It was such a clever finish. Oh my God. He's such a freaking heel.
Well, it started with Orange Cassidy basically winning the match, but Don Callis came down and pulled Bryce Remsburg out right at the last second.
Remsburg.
To prevent the pin. And then, after some more fighting, they started... Pac put the brutalizer on Orange Cassidy, and
right.
Omega was like, I'm not gonna let this happen, so he went to hit Pac and he could not get him to let go.
Yeah, Pac's
so he
fuck you.
He just hit the ref instead.
Yeah, which was so clever.
It was. He was like, all right, if you're not gonna let go, I'll just beat up the guy that finishes the match.
Yeah, and there's no DQ in one of those matches because there can't be, because there's already 3 guys in the match.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes so much sense.
So after that, Don just starts throwing Kenny his bunch of title belts, like one after the other. And then after the 4th one, of course, Pac can't get back up.
And the 4th one sliced his hand open, too. He got 7 stitches in his hand.
Yeah, and Orange tried to come back, and it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah. Great showing, though. I mean, that was the whole thing. The reason Kenny Omega is a fantastic champion, well, one of the many reasons, let me count my ways, is because you truly believe that he could lose the belt.
Yeah. And he probably should have a couple of times by now.
Yeah, like you get in there and you're like, oh my God, he's going to lose. Like it's crazy. You feel that way. And, you know, they were talking about Vince doesn't want to book Roman Reigns like that. Like he doesn't want, the reason Roman is so unbeatable is because he's going to eventually turn baby. He doesn't want him being a cowardly heel and saving the belt like that and all this shit. But dude, that's what you do.
It's hilarious.
Listen, the Flair, during my last show, my guys went 0-3. There was only a couple of smart, stupid fans that were actually like on the internet. They were like, well, why would they get a title shot? They lost 3. They went 0-3. Yeah. So we went 0-3 and have more heat now than we've ever had. That's this whole... It's what you do with it. It's the story you tell. Yeah. And, you know, John Hawkins believes that they got screwed and the office is screwing them. Yeah. And, you know, it's like this whole, and you have to think that way. So, I mean, going out there and being the quote unquote cowardly heel, you know, begging off and all that shit, everybody knows that Omega's doing that. They've seen him be the epic guy. Yeah. And they've also know that takes him 47 minutes. And he's nearly died doing it. And, you know, so he comes out here and he's like taking the easy way. That's part of the story. Yeah. You know, he's listening to Don Callis feed him all that bullshit.
Yeah, he's brainwashed.
Because he trusts him. And who hasn't ever had a friend that's like got him into some bad stuff, you know? Right. So, I don't know. I love it.
Me too. And you know, eventually it's going to come to a head and somebody's going to have to redeem him.
Yeah, well, eventually Hangman will beat him.
Yes.
So... But that was a 5. That was a 10 for us.
Oh, it was so good. So after that, we had the announcement that the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, is joining the AEW commentary team for Rampage.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Yes.
Because he's an entertaining person. So, and the Stadium Stampede, which we will rank.
Yes.
I mean, it's hard to rank them on a wrestling scale.
Because it's not exactly a wrestling match.
But, you know, I would rank it like a movie, and I would give it 3.5 out of 4.
Pure entertainment value.
No, it was great, man. I mean, it was, I did like it better than the first one.
Yeah, me too.
I liked it better than the first one. The first one, for me, I went back and I watched it once. I've watched this one twice since. So that should tell you something. You know, there was a lot of good stuff happening in it. And the finish was great because it was a showcase for Sammy Guevara.
Yes.
And
just pushing him as the hero.
Yeah, I think it set Sammy up for some really strong stuff coming up. Like
Which he deserves.
Yeah, he's really set up right now for a run.
Yeah, he is.
And he needs one.
Yeah.
Because
he's amazing.
Yeah, he is. He is. And he's been kind of not held back.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's got a major rub being in this group. I mean, if it was just him out there by himself, he would have had some amazing matches, but he would not be anywhere near the level of star he is.
Yeah, this helped his character a lot. Helped him get some recognition.
So we've established his star, and I think it's time for him to have a run at like a mid-card belt. Like,
yeah,
I would like to see him surprisingly beat Miro.
Ooh.
I mean, it's a hell of a match anyway.
It would be.
And if we could have
that TNT title.
Yeah, have a competitive match with him too. Mm-hmm. It'd be some good stuff because Sammy could sell his ass off for him.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Overcome with some of his crazy, acrobats,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Good stuff.
So during Double or Nothing, they also announced the next 2 pay-per-views that are coming up.
Right.
Which is All Out in September in Chicago.
Yes, of course.
And Full Gear, which is going to be in November in St. Louis.
Yeah. So, and those will both be fantastic.
Yes.
So. But there's been other stuff announced. Obviously, we've had the Dynamites, and the Dynamites have been good. They've been on Fridays, which has hurt the attendance, so to say.
The viewership.
Yeah, it's hurt the ratings, but not really, because I don't think people are looking at the right stuff. It's 10 o'clock at night on a Friday.
Yeah.
Friday's traditionally date night, the dead night. I don't even care about that. Listen, they've been doing a great job building, and they've had some good matches.
Yes.
I'm not going to go into all that, but I'd rather talk more about. Of course, we got another Friday one as you're listening to this. We've had another Friday Dynamite.
Yes.
But I want to go to what's coming up in the future because they've announced some really cool, amazing stuff, including returning to the road.
Oh,
and that's not all.
Live shows.
Why don't you tell them what's coming up, Rajja?
Well, first we have our first 4 live shows in July are all going to be huge shows, like name shows.
Yes.
So the Dynamites in July are going to be on the 7th is Road Rager.
Yes.
Which they've already announced the Cody Rhodes QT Marshall South Beach strap match for that show.
Which will be in Miami.
And then on July 14th, we have night 1 of Fyter Fest.
In Texas.
And then on July 21st, night 2 of Fyter Fest.
Also in Texas. Different town.
And then on July 28th, they're going to be in North Carolina.
They're going to be in Flair country.
For Fight for the Fallen.
Yes, they're going to be in Charlotte, baby. Charlotte, North Carolina. Going to have not the American Dream, but July 28th. So yeah, name shows and big shows, Wednesday shows. So that's now the big news.
The big news.
AEW. So AEW is doing its first stadium show. Mm-hmm. So cool thing about it is let's just cut to the chase. They're coming to New York City, baby. Mm-hmm. It's the New York City Stadium show. And I think it's great. They're going to do it where Wimbledon's done.
Yeah.
And Arthur Ashe Stadium. So what's awesome about that is the fact that WWE don't run that.
Yeah.
I love that. Mm-hmm. And
because this is the first wrestling show being held in this stadium.
Yeah. Can you imagine how uppity everybody was? Like, we're going to have the wrestlers in tonight, Bobo. But they've got 17,000 seats for this. I guess, stage and all that stuff going in there. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be, 17,000, it's going to sell out.
Yeah.
And that's going to sound amazing. Now, it's retractable roof. I almost hope it rains, so they have to close the roof just so it's, louder.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be fantastic. Regardless, and they're going to pack this.
Somebody was like, you're not going to sell that many tickets, and Cody Rhodes responded, I've been told that before.
Yeah, been told that the first time, Double or Nothing, got told that. Did you see what the Bucks put on their Twitter?
I saw their bio. I can't remember what it says, though.
It was something to the extent of, if we sell out New York City
and don't show up,
we've done that before. It won't
the
be
second time.
Yeah, it won't
happen.
be the first time or something like that.
That's hilarious.
Because, of course, the Madison Square Garden New Japan Ring of Honor show, and we all thought Bucks, Kenny, because that's what it was all set up for.
Right.
And then they had the, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But that match, that card by itself was still amazing.
Yes.
Regardless of.
So this is going to be AEW Dynamite Grand Slam.
Yes, which is strange, huh?
A little strange. There's a few other wrestling shows going on with that similar name.
Yeah, little Grand Slamage out there. Wouldn't it be, dude?
If it ends up being a joint show, we have to go.
I just got to ask you something.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What if Wednesday, September 22nd on Dynamite at the AEW Grand Slam in New York City, Kenny Omega versus...
Don't even... Do you have to even say it? Why you gotta get my hopes up like that?
Kota Ibushi. What do you think?
Would it be title versus title or just for one title?
It better be one title. Because Shingo's going to have that other title.
Oh.
Don't put that shit in the universe.
You started it.
I didn't put that out there.
Oh, maybe it's not for a title. Maybe it's just an exhibition match.
I don't know. We've got the world's most beautiful...
Not that kind of exhibition.
The world's most beautiful Mexicans there now. We haven't even talked about that. You know, that's...
Oh, man.
That's the big thing.
Yeah, that happened on Dynamite a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, Andrade is in AEW now.
Yes, and of course you know. But it's just amazing.
He pulled out of Federación Wrestling. Now they're not having...
Yeah, everybody pulled out.
I know.
Yeah, it's...
Like, oops, sorry, I got other shit to do.
Yeah, so that... We were real excited about that.
Yeah, we were. That was this weekend.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Oh.
But it's okay.
Because he's in AEW.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So much is going on.
It is.
I'm very excited.
There's too much going on.
I'm very excited. There's a lot going on. It's GCW's rocking too, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great stuff happening with GCW.
They're having Matt Cardona versus Nick Gage.
Yeah, and that is crazy. July 24th at their homecoming show.
Yeah.
They've got their show this weekend, which is the Outlaw Mud Show. And it's Nick Gage versus Manser.
Oh, Jesus.
And there's a ton of really cool matches on that show. So if you're listening to this and it hasn't come on yet, Saturday night, get it, enjoy it. Trust me, if you've never had a GCW before, you'll love it.
GCW is doing great.
It's a lot of fun. They have really done a fantastic job here lately.
The Tournament of Survival was so enjoyable.
Yeah, it was great. And the last, Jesus Christ. That was such a good freaking, it had the best death match I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The best death match, I mean, of course it's a subjective thing.
Yes.
But Nolan Edward, listen, don't sleep on Nolan Edward. I'm here for that. Whatever you want to say.
He's fantastic.
You got to find Nolan Edward. The guy's crazy. Yeah. He's just got a crazy look. I put him up on our Twitter last week. Listen, Nolan Edward is the shit. All right. So not only does he wrestle incredible, like he can have a great wrestling match, but he's turning into a damn good deathmatch wrestler. So when you watch deathmatch wrestling, you don't expect to see some really classic wrestling.
Yeah.
But Nolan Edward versus Warren Vite in the first round of Tournament of Survival is worth going out of your way to see. Go buy Tournament of Survival. It's not that much. Watch the whole damn thing. It was all fantastic.
It was.
And you get the Nolan Edward versus Warren Vite match, which to me was my favorite death match. It is.
It was so good.
It's really good stuff.
I was hoping no one was going to take it.
Yeah, it was a hell of a card, man. It was a hell of a card. Everything in it was just fantastic. But we had Mr. Three-Peat there.
Yes.
So Alex Colon won again, which he should have.
Yeah.
I
kind of figured that was going to happen by the end.
He's fantastic too, and he's got a lot of love and pride, and it's just good stuff, man. So I was excited, and we're very excited. And guess what? It won't be a month before we talk to you. So we'll be joining you guys again. Like I said, not a month. It's going to be maybe late Wednesday, maybe early Thursday at the latest. But we'll be covering so much in that short amount of time. not only do we have Dynamite, but we'll also have Dark and Elevation, of course. So those 3 shows we love. And we will actually cover Dark and Elevation on this next show because we love talking about a lot of those guys on there, especially Dylan McQueen.
Yes.
Yeah, the shout out there. But also, we're going to have the GCW show that I was talking about, the Outlaw Mud show from this weekend. We're going to watch Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking about that. We'll talk about Monday Night Raw. And we will also talk to you about life in general and maybe just some more WWE news that comes out. They might fire 10 people. You never know what's going to happen, folks.
No, you don't.
You just never know what's going to happen. And by that time, you're also going to have the first episode of our new Patreon content, which will be 1997, our review of every Raw.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with the first one. And like I said, we're going to do pay-per-views as well. But we're damn excited. We actually bought the Observer 1997 book. So we've got that. And which, get that, by the way. It's a big book. Yeah. It's awesome.
Worth it.
So we've got that. We're going to be going through that. We'll give you stats, figures, our opinions. We'll laugh with you, cry with you, enjoy stuff like Sean losing his smile, the first ever Hell in a Cell, freaking
timely.
The Canadian Stampede, Bret Hart. I mean, come on, Bret screwing Bret. That's all 1997. The emergence of Steve Austin.
Oh,
it's
going to be fun.
Some of the best matches in the history of wrestling that year in that Fed. So there's so much chaos and really the seeding of the Attitude Era itself. So just a lot of great stuff. I hope you join us for it because it's going to be fun. 64 episodes. So when we're done with it, you'll have a little compendium of 1997.
When we're done with it, it'll be this time next year.
Yeah, exactly. But, if we really love 97 at that point, maybe we'll have to do ECW at that point and see what happens. So for the lovely and mysterious Rajja, my name is John. So long from Blind Tag Wrestling.
You'll never see it coming.